This conference will now be recorded.
So hello everyone, welcome to the seventh session of the series CPQ Specialist, which is on code template.
Bhavna, if you can just make the full screen.
Yes, I'm making. Yeah. So a little bit about myself. I'm Bhavna. I work with Echo as a Salesforce consultant in Netherlands, Amsterdam. I run Amsterdam Women in Tech Group. I am also the founder of DecodeSFCertification, which you are attending right now. I also contribute to Rad Women Coach. I am a coach there. It's been several times now. This is a little bit about myself. If you want to follow me, you can follow me on LinkedIn with Bhavna Panoda and Twitter as well as Bhavna Panoda. My name is very unique, so I don't need to add anything. A little bit about this group. So this group, how it's actually born is when we were trying to study for some of the application architect certification, and we thought if we are doing that much activity, why not spread it to everyone? So we decided, a group of friends, we decided that okay, we are gonna run this online, and the main motive of this group is not to tell how to do things if it's like very easily available, because in CPQ you can see that as a little bit exception, because CPQ is kind of very niche, so we are even covering how, but the main focus is why not, when and where, because when you know the concept, you should know when and why and where you should implement the concept. What are the pros and what are the cons of it? So that was the idea on which DecodeSFCertification is born. We are totally running it by our own. We don't have any Salesforce support. It's not an official group, but with lots of love from you guys, we are running strong. So thanks for supporting. If you want to follow us on Twitter at DecodeSFCerts. YouTube, this is a place where you can actually get all your recordings. So of course, subscribe to it. Subscribe to it and like our videos so that we also get our little dose of motivation every now and then. And then of course the meetup, because if we are running any RD for the session, we will keep posting it over there. So join it over there. Along with that, you can also follow us on the success community with the same name, DecodeSFCertification, as well as we have a WhatsApp group. So end of the session, we will share the WhatsApp group. And if you have not joined yet, you can join it there, because there this is just 2-hour session or 1-hour session, but afterwards, if you have to discuss anything, that is a group where you can go and people can answer your query. So it's like a mutual help among ourselves. So this is about DecodeSFCertification. Afterwards, we have an awesome line of speakers, and I must say that these guys are amazing, because everyone is extremely busy. They have a lot of priorities, but they still take out time to work for community. Like if I take talk from Gautam is now expert in Einstein, CPQ and marketing, and recently joined a new job and has a year-old grade, but he still takes out time and work give his time for DecodeSFCertification, and we are very thankful to him. Then Srikanth Golian, he's also CPQ specialist and Pardot specialist, marketing cloud specialist, and has a lot of office work, have 2 wonderful kids, but he's also giving a lot of time for CPQ certification and as a speaker in DecodeSFCertification. Vinay Sel, he's studying for CTA. He is super duper busy, but he still takes out time and almost he is our very regular speaker. So a lot of thanks for Vinay also. Then Manmohan, he not only speaks, but he does all the other, other works of maintenance and running of the group. So a lot of thanks to Manmohan as well. And one of the speaker we don't have mentioned here because he is not speaking in CPQ specialist is Harinaran Singh. He's also a very busy person. He recently got promoted and his domain has increased a lot, and he's also giving us time in the session. So it's a very heartful thanks from my heart to all the speakers. And guys, I request you to appreciate all of them whenever their sessions are there, whenever their sessions are not there in over social media, so that they can get motivated and they can keep continuing contributing to DecodeSF certifications. So that's about our speakers. Then about this exam. This exam is CPQ specialist, and if it is for admin, solution designer, technical architect, it's good to know, but it's definitely an add-on. There are like 60 multiple choice questions, and the passing score is 65%. Registration fees is 200, and if you fail, then it's $100. And I know you are not going to fail. We are preparing a very awesome session. Then we already had 6 sessions and everything is completed. Today is the last session. It holds 7% of the weightage of overall course. And a lot of people are asking about the recording. So this is last session. So we need maybe 2-3 days to make the recordings ready. So probably it will be available for all of you by next weekend. Yes, so this is 7% of the total, and you already have read all of these by our great speakers, so I'm not going through it anymore. So let's quickly start with today's agenda. So today's is about code template, and I will tell you about what and why. Then the components of code template, where I will talk about sections, line columns, its content and terms. Then there are some other features like merge fields, adding image and product image to code. Then Salesforce CPQ package configuration related little bit thing. Then that about the template language. Then how you can have an option to generate code as PDF or Word doc. And then lastly, the batch document generation, where generation and sending of documents are there. So this is an overall session, and most of the time I will be in the Salesforce org, because most of the things are for demo. Okay, so what I will do, so what is code template? So template, you guys are very well aware because we have several templates in Salesforce, like email templates. So template is nothing but how you organize something. It consists of constant and dynamic information, but it's like it's information which you're generating or developing again and again. So you are giving that power to your users that they don't need to type in everything again and again, but just clicking of a button, the system will pick up the constant and the dynamic values and generate a format. So code template is when you use the information related to code and code related objects and generate it in the form of a document. So that is a code template. Why we need it? Because yes, we have done everything. We have done pricing, we have done codes, we have seen a lot of things, but till the time that is not actually communicated to the customers, it's not a very much useful thing. So ultimate goal is always to tell the customer. So that's why it's very important to have a code template. Now let me go to the template in Salesforce. So this is my org. Most of the things you have already seen. In today's session, what we will be focusing is on code templates, template content, code terms. So let's start with code templates. Yeah, some weird looking name I have created. This is training sample, which is a default provided in the package. I will create one for you. So if I click new, you can see it's as usual. This page layout also has a lot of fields like any other feature in the CPQ. So let me give sample template. Okay, so the first field is default, and the default, if you select, that will be defaultly populated as the selected template whenever users are trying to generate this code template, but they can of course select other available templates as well. But this will be defaultly selected. So if you think this is the one which your users are gonna use a lot, then please select it. So I'm gonna select because I'm gonna use it. Deployment status, there are two options, in development and deployed. So in development means you are still working on it and it will not be visible for your user to use. So till the time it's in development and you are actually building it up, keep it in development, and as soon as it's ready, make it deployed. So yes. Logo, document ID, watermark ID, and all other stuff I will show in a while. Let me just first save it. And it's a page with lots of information and some related links, line, section, additional document. So talking about the very first section of this one, it's logo, document ID, and watermark ID. So this is about what you want to show as your company logo and what you want to show as your company's document watermark ID. Watermark is something which appears in the back end of the page. So how you can do it, you need to put here the ID. For that, you have to upload the documents in the document object. If you do it in file, somehow it doesn't work. I tried it. So for that, I have to actually go to my Salesforce Classic, because document tab I cannot access from Lightning. I'm in Classic. I will go to documents, and here is documents. Okay. So just to save time, I have actually uploaded several documents. One as company logo, one as company watermark, which two we are going to use here. So for what you need to do, you need to upload it. Once you upload it, make it externally available image. The size should be less than 1 MB. And once you upload it, you will get this ID, the Salesforce ID. This ID you need to actually use in your logo. So I edit it, I put as logo ID, and the same I have to do for my company watermark. Okay, before I save it, I actually want to show you guys one more thing. Like, I open one code. When you don't select anything, how what defaultly CPQ does is, suppose I take this one as with value. So right now in my template, this template, nothing is selected. So what it does, it has some default settings. So if I preview the document, it will show me the predefined information. But as soon as I specify my thing, it will start reflecting here. So now let me add. So I will keep switching like this. I will add some value and then I will show how it is reflected in your document. So this was my watermark. Sorry, this is my company logo. Save. And now if I preview, same quote, you can see this was the company logo. It's gone out of proportion, so you need to take care of the image size and everything. But this was the company name, and oh yeah, watermark is not coming. So why watermark is not coming? I have added it, right? Let me see what could be the problem. So the problem is, if you want to use the watermark, you have to come to the code, and there is something called watermark shown, that option. You need to select it to see the watermark. So save, even though if you include in the template, it will not show till the time in the code somebody has selected it. So now again, I will preview the document and preview. And you can see this was the watermark I have used, sample. So it's now showing. And I'm immediately removing it because it's very irritating. It's not a very good watermark. Okay. So this is about the first section. This is something I created as demo kit, so I will show you later. Generator name is if you're using Visual Force page, then you have to give here that option, that value. Now in the second section, then you have this page information where you can specify the height and the width and the margins of the document. So width means it will extend in the portrait section, and height, it will just increase in the height. So the same, you know, there are different types of document, A4, portrait, landscapes, like those kind of documents. So if like you're planning to like print the document in that format, then maybe you can change the dimensions here. But right now the dimensions I checked in the backend, this is very suitable if you are using A4 size sheet. So this is about page information. I will come to header and footer because I need to use another component. So I will just come to company information. So this corporate information is actually company information coming from in the setup what company information you are defining. But if you have not filled it up, you can edit and enter the value here as well. Otherwise, you can, if it's going to be constant, then you should go to your company information and put all the values, and whenever you will create a code template, it's get automatically copied over. So I'm not putting anything here. That is about company information. Page margins I told. Now let me go to, I will come to each and every section, but because it has dependency, so I'm jumping from one place to another. Now this is template, and now I will talk about all the links in the template. Let me go to related list. So line columns are nothing but when your code line items are displayed, these will be the columns which will be shown. You can of course add and remove values here. If I want to show you, let me add something. It should be in the code. So I will go to my setup. need this anymore. And if I go to Object Manager and let me go to any port, this code, this CPQ code I'm into, and let me take any field. Which field looks good? Which will have value as well. Expiration date, and it's already there. There was something called start date. Let me take this start date. So if I come here and in the line columns, let me show a generated document. Okay, so this is a column: quantity, part, description, unit price, discount, and extended. You can see. Now what I will do, I will add another one. So I have to put the heading. So I selected field as start date. So let me put start date as field. Display order is the sequence. So it's 60. So let me put 60 because I want to put the extend one at the end because extended is showing the amount. So I want to keep the amount at the end. And width I have to define, I will say 10. And then these are styling information again, margins and everything. So this one you guys can easily see. I will just save it. And extended, I will edit and make it 70 display order. Okay. So this was the table right now. If I cancel it and preview again. Yes, so my start date has came, but you see the whole format has been disturbed. So now to actually adjust this formatting, first thing is part size width should be more because it's definitely not containing. So what I'm going to do, maybe little bit decrease the description one and increase the part one. And then definitely I need this table to fit within this document. So let me play a little bit with the width. So the most ideal way is your width summation should be 100% so that it will be contained in your document. So here I have included 10, so it just become 110. What I will do, I will decrease here it by 50. I will make it probably 35 because 10 I will use in start date and 5 I will use in part because my part is overflowing. So I adjusted the width. Let me generate it again. See? So nice, right? Everything is contained in the document. This maybe I can increase a little bit further, but you got the idea how we can play with the margins and the width for the table. So that's about line items. You can include and exclude information as you want. You can put the alignment as well. This is when you are showing your code line items details. Again, then let me go back to my template. The second related list for template is section. In the section is actually it's like a section in the page layout. You see, right? Different information you want to plug in into your document. So before we create a section, it has a dependency on the object template content. So I will go to template content. And if you can see, these are wherever training is written, these are predefined information from the CPQ package. These are all the information. These are some I created. So I will show you how you can create different contents in it. So when you click on new, you can see there you get a various options like HTML, line items, code terms, custom, template button, template top. What are the differences? I will tell you right away. So HTML is something if you are writing your content in HTML format. So you will select HTML. And if you select template bottom and template top also, these are also HTML formats, but why they are defined as different options? Because it's a very well written HTML information with almost all the things you want to put in your template. It's like a base for you. You can make adjustment in it, but if you don't want to make adjustment, your requirement is totally different, you can go with the HTML as well, no problem. But I want let me explain others before. So line items and code terms are actually the placeholder for other items. So line items are nothing but your code line items I have shown you, right, in this one where we were adjusting the table. So that is the line items. And now you ask me if it's already there, why I need to create it, because that is something default when I don't have anything selected in section. But as soon as I select anything in the section, the whole default thing will go off. So then I need to put all the components in it. So I need to create a line items placeholder as well, so that the table is shown. Code terms are the placeholder for terms and condition when you define, and this is also depend on another object. So I will leave right now for this one. When I will come back, I will explain in details. Custom is something you are writing as a Visual Force page. So if you're writing something Visual Force page, you can select custom and put the links there. For today's demo, I will show you top, bottom, line items and code terms, basically. Let me start with template top. So you see here, when I click on template top, you can see a lot of predefined information. So they have your company logo, company name, company slogan, and all other information from different objects. What all objects you can have, fields you can have in the template, I will show as a part of merge field concept definition. Right now I will just show you how this works. Now one thing which I have seen here is if you want to add or remove any field, just avoid to, although it looks easy, you can type in here and you can put information, but it really messes up the formatting. So the most ideal way is you go to your source and then you can make changes in your information. So what I will do, I will just go back to the original one and I will simply select it as my decode first section. Okay, and I am just leaving everything like this. I save it. This is the information. Just to be sure, if you see right now, you won't see this information. You will not see this information. No, you see this information because this is the default information. Sorry, this is defaultly selected. So what I will do now, I will add it as a section here in my template. So it's section 1, and I will select the template decode first section, and display order is first, so 10. There is a conditional print field. That means you can show and hide section based on certain conditions. I will get back to you it later. Then these are normal normal of your fields, like when you want page breaks, filtering. Let me just save it right now. I added the section. Let me see what happened to my preview. You can see, right, everything just goes off. So the default information which CPQ is providing, it just vanished. Now only shows the content which I had placed there. Yes, so this is how we configure section. I will come later on and add a little more sections, but just because I'm just going through related list, so let me just come to additional document section as well. So if you want to append your document with any other document, then you will upload that document here. So again, document upload, you have to go to Classic because you have to do it in documents. I go back here and I go to documents again, and if you see, I have added this additional document. I named it as additional document. So this is document already added, and if you want to add it here, I will say additional document new, and then I have to give its external ID here. I see it as additional document. It pre-populates from, and I want to keep it at the last order. I don't want to mess up my document template. So let me just put 90 here. So in between, whenever we add section, it will always come and at the end. And we can also make it required or not required. If we don't check this box, then user will have an option to select or not select this document when they generate or the document. So right now I will not select because that will show you both the options how you are gonna see it. So let me just save. It's added. I come back again here and click on preview. Uh-oh. So preview document. Yes, so you can see now you have the document as an additional available content. You can add, because I have not selected required, so users have options to select it or not select it, but just for demo, I will select and I will preview it. So that's a very beautiful surprise for you guys. Don't worry, be happy. That's appended. This is about additional document. Let me go back to my sections again and my code template. Now we know a concept of line columns, and we know the concept of section, and how we can get section. We have to create a template content. So we know all of those things. In the same manner, I will now create a header content. So what is the difference between what you do in the section and what you put it here? Header and footer content will appear in your every page at the predefined location you have set. So header will be on the top with the set margins, and footer will be at the bottom with the set margins. So I will create for header one template content. Actually, I have already created one yesterday, but just for you guys information, what I did, I firstly tried to use, if I create, I have to write. First, I tried actually to write and put all styles and formatting, and it was not appearing at all because it's an HTML content. So just it may looks like it's very easy, but yeah, no, you have to go back and like you have to do it in the HTML. So the simple writing in the window will not work. You have to put your code formatting. So I have selected a header, and I actually in the initial I just write the P and the information inside and the P closed. And just saved it, and later on once I have my content, then I use the formatting and styles to color it, and that then added on with the source, but the initial source I have to write it in the code. So this is my header already built up, so I will use the same in over here. This is my code template. I edit and I select that header, and then I have various options like whether I want to exclude the header and footer from first page, last page, or where do I put my numbers and all. I want to define the height, so I just put 40, and yeah, these are various options. I think you guys can easily go through it, and there are a lot of fields, so I just don't want to go into each and every field. But these are very self-explanatory, and the best part is everything is that I, and if you read that I, that is so well written that you will immediately understand what does that mean. So I click on save, and if I go back to my, let me close it, it's confusing. So I preview it. Now let me cancel and then preview. Preview the document. So you can see that came as an header, and I just had one page, so it's just showing in the one page. But if I have second page, then also it will show as an header in the second page. So this is about this template defining headers. Then in the code templates itself, I covered this header, I covered this style is how you want your code fonts to be like. So you can color, shade, select shade, size, family of the font family. Like this group style, I will come later because that is related to grouping of the product. So yeah, just will come later. Then there are section titles. These are the fields which are actually being used in the template content. This one, which we are using in the sections. So if you want to name your introduction title and notes title field, then you will enter some information. Otherwise, you can leave it blank. It will still show you the value. So what I will do, let me just edit and put some information here. I will say intro title. Okay. Then these are the various fields. You have already seen these, like, see, ship to, bill to, all this information. If you want to rename those, you can rename it from here. Let me just say title. Terms and conditions that you are using. If right now I see, I will not see intro and other fields because those fields are not in the sections content which I have selected at the moment. So if I preview, you can see this information changed. So yeah, okay. So the intro field was there in my section. Let me just cross confirm it. This is my section. This is the content of the section. If I open the content of the section, and if I see set of fields, because it's showing me intro title, that means it definitely has introduction field in it here. And it's in the end, and yes, we have this field. And so only the title, okay, where is the value? Value will be in the quote. So let me just cancel this. And if I come to quote, I will be having option to interaction and the notes. So both the fields are there. If I populate value here, I can see in my document. So let me add. This is intro. This is notes. Let me see. If I preview now, and if I preview again, I share. This is intro. So this field is populated from quotes. So this was about the section. Just give me a second, guys. Now I will talk about let me go to the template and see what's missing. I talked about doing group in the end. Okay. So if I see the preview here, I have not yet added actually the item. So yeah, let me first add the items. So because I have already items ready, so in case if I don't have it ready, I will go to my table content. And I will select new, and I will say line items. I said it's just a placeholder, so I will say decode. It will show based on the line columns which is there in my template. So decode items. Anyone wanted to say something? Okay, so I added it. I will say the section items, select here my decode items. I want it to be displayed after my initial information, which so I am giving it the placeholder as 20, the second one, and I want just to have a little bit margins because otherwise it will just collapse into each other. So very near. So I just put given some margin, and I will come back again and preview. Yes, so all my items are here. Now we will talk about the groupings and how we can show the groupings here. So how you can show grouping? If I come here and again edit it and say group field. So if I say group by, I am getting these two options. And so let me say group by family. And if I select, then and I generate my document again. Earlier it was showing all the items. Now it should ideally, yes. So it's showing based on the groups. Just it's not showing individual item. And if you want to even show the individual item, then you have to go and where is that? God, it's so many fields. I just get lost sometimes. I have to go to, I think, print line items here in the code. Yeah, I think this one. Group line items as well. And save. And I will generate, preview the document again. Preview. Uh-oh, it just disappeared. Oh no, because everything is in group one, so that's why it's showing group one and its properties. Now, if in my code I will edit the code line item. So let's say I edit lines and I will create groups by myself. So it's already grouped as group one. So I want to just ungroup. No, I should have added group. Add group and then add another group. And let me move some items. Okay, and save. So earlier I was seeing one group and all the line items under it. Now I should see two groups and different line items under that. So easy, right? Just you know where to click all the fields and then voila, everything is there. So it's group one, it's as I define, group two as I define. Right, it's there. Then I have shown you groups as well. Let me go back to template. Now another important topic is show and hide section based on values. So first of all, there is a limitation on showing and hiding the thing is because somebody's typing something, but would be fun to try. I will see that later. So there are sections and sections you can show and hide based on information, but there is one slight limitation is that whatever field you are using should contain either true or the false values. So if you are taking any text, the text field should only have true as a text or false as a text. And actually it doesn't even matter with false. Whatever other values, it doesn't matter. Till the time it's not set as true, the section will not show. The same goes for any big list field, and it also works for formula, but it doesn't work for any other type. So to show that, I have created some field actually. let me see if that field is added here automatically. So suppose I want to source section 1 as only as a condition. I edit the section, and you can see conditional print field. So this will be print only when it's condition. So defaultly it just has these two information, group line items and primary. But if you want to add some other field, you can easily add it. You need to go to this object called template section. I have added ready to generate, but let me just go to this object. It was template section. So if I go to object and look, this is on. So if I come here in the fields, the field is conditional print field, and I can add this field, and this field is coming from a field in the code. So this ready to generate field is actually present in code. I have created it as a custom field, and then I have added that field API name here. So then it will actually come here and it will act. So if you want to add any other fields, then add that field in the code, and if that field information qualifies as true, then only it will show. But the process is add the field in the code, or if you already have a field in the code, add it in the conditional print field in the transaction section, template transaction object, and then it will show over here. I hope that's okay, or do I need to demo it? I think it's okay. So I will select this field ready to generate, and I will say it should always display. Then print code totals, group field, these are other elements. If I just select this and save it, I did it for section 1. Now let's see what happens if I preview the document now. Everything disappeared, right? Let's get back and see our code. Ready to generate was my field. So if I edit and just put there as true, that's true. So if it's a text field, then also you have to put true. So I selected it's true, and then if I go to preview document, preview it, and my section which was not appearing earlier, the section first, should appear now. Yes, so it came now. So that's it. In the similar manner, you can for all your sections you could do different conditions. You can do it based on different fields as well. It's important because like based on different stages of your code, maybe you want to show or hide different sections. Like say if it's initial stage, you want to show some offers kind of information, and when it's in ongoing, you just don't want to show it, and then in the finalized one, you want to show your code terms, but before that you don't want to show your code terms. Then you can show and hide it based on your business need, and it's a very important feature to show and hide section based on the field information. And these fields, sometimes you can let your users update these fields. Otherwise, you can write your own logic as workflow, process builder flows, triggers, action to update field based on certain sets of other information. So like status, when status is suppose new, then I just want to show one section, but you have seen it just takes true and false value. It doesn't take status field values. So what I have to do, I have to write in the field and put the logic as true or false there, and then I can utilize it. So that is the business scenario you can use show and hide. Then let's go to another important section is the code term, because these are related to terms and conditions. Let me open code terms here for you guys. So by default, there are so many terms. You can see it's already there in the system. The problem is if there is no condition defined, like I have just explained the sections condition, right? If no condition is defined, then all of these will be printed in your document. Let me show you. So first I need to add code terms as a section. So let me add. I already have a content defined, so you guys now know content very well. So I will just take any table content with code terms, because that anyhow is a placeholder. So I can see line item code terms. Okay. Yeah, this one, template code terms, this one. Yeah, it's here. Nice. It's display order. I am not putting any condition here, and I will say save. If I go back and generate my document now, it's not showing me anything. Why? Because I had put condition in all of them. Because yesterday when I was checking, it was showing me everything, and it's very frustrating. Different languages. So I will show you one of that. So I open one of the term. This is the term information. This is basically the body which populates. And I say edit. And I say all conditions should be met. And the condition I will define later, which is in the related list. So I said terms condition. I can add, but let me show you the one I already created. So I added a condition that if the tested field, I selected the field as billing state equals to ABC, then only show it. Otherwise, don't show it. So my this where is my this? Okay, my this code doesn't have billing state as ABC. So let me just cross check. Billing state is CT, it's not ABC. So that's why this was not appearing. So like this, I have set so many options. So most of them I have selected ABC. So let me just change my code to billing state as ABC. Billing state. Okay. And let me save it. So now my code is fulfilling one of the condition for most of the code terms template. Preview. you can see all history is here, because I said most of the time I set it, most of the terms I set up with the condition as ABC. So what I will do, the one which I have not actually selected as ABC, I will take that one. Or what I will do, if I just want to see one code term, the English one, not any other language. So this code is presented to customer, this one, if I just want to see this one. Right? And I say related, and I say, if I see here, the condition is if the value is IL, so the billing state is IL. So let me change my code information to IL, so that only one will appear. The wind is going crazy here. Billing, IL. I really don't know why I made PPT. I'm not even going to that. Preview document, preview. And yes, you can see only one is appearing, the one which fulfilled the condition. So that is about code terms. So you can, in the same manner, billing state is one of the field which I had taken, but that's not necessarily a field, because this tested fields, you can have other option as well. So if I just edit it, you have other options, but in case if this option is not what you want, then again, like earlier in the template section, I think that object I have added in the field, in the same manner I can add fields in there as well, because billing state was not there earlier. So I will go to this term condition object. Term condition. So this is an object. If I go to this object and look at the fields and relationship here, and you can see the tested field is this one. You can add the values here, and these values are again nothing but the API name of the fields from code object. So this is a code object field. I just added as the pick list value. So in this manner, whatever based on your business requirement, whatever field makes more sense to you, maybe it's not billing state, maybe it's language field in your code which is making more sense, then add that field here and put your terms logic based on that. Along with tested fields, you also have option for to distinguish based on tested variables. And in the same manner, if you can actually define variables here and show and hide terms based on it. So that is about term condition. I have created the tested one. Now what I need to show you is, I think it's more or less I covered everything here. All other things are just minor things. You guys can go through the fields, and there is an eye for your help. So this is the main stuff. The other thing is, it's already 11. Shit, I thought I will complete it in an hour. Merge fields. I will not take more time, just 10 to 15 minutes. So merge fields are now the important parts. The merge fields, if you create any related object, and in the section you see, right, the content. If I open any content, I will show you how we can actually add field. And For merge field, actually, I have a very, maybe I have added in my, yes. So just for your information, the merge fields, you can use these objects. So these objects are code template object fields you can take. Then Salesforce CPQ code object field you can take. Then primary contact information field in the code object you can take. This is a link, supported standard fields. If you click here, you can see what all fields are actually supported, and the same way the sales ref field. So if you're defining your content, you can take fields from these objects, and if that information is like suppose in some other object, then create some kind of logic, either formula field or a trigger or anything like that, and bring that information in either of the objects, and then you can easily use that as a merge field while creating the template. So if I go back again here, and I showed you earlier, like demo field, something like that I created in the code. I think so. Yeah, this demo field, right? So suppose this is a field and I want to insert it. So it's easy. I can go and I need to check the API name of the field. I go to setup. And if, let me go to object one manager. CPQ code. And I created the demo field. Demo, yes. So this is the field. This is the field, and suppose I want to add it in my build area. Just don't want to mess any other formatting. So of course I need to use the format. How we have to write is like, I will edit, and I can of course put it like this, and so it's from quote. So quote is the initial, this is the basic formatting. It's in the curly braces, then exclamation mark, and the object name. So it's already from quote, and now I can set it like this. I can do like this, but the problem is what happened, it really messes up the formatting, as I said. So what I will do, because I know I need to put it in a billing country, I go to source and I will use the span and just add it for the page break. So I put it there, and over here this field I will add. It's a code field, so nothing to worry. I don't need to change the code information, the code object, and I will save this one. Now if I generate my code, no, let me cancel because there is no value over there. Edit. This is save. Preview document. The one thing which I really liked is I don't need to cancel every time and go back to preview again. It's just I need, if I make any changes anywhere, and if I just click on preview and cancel and again click on preview, it always shows. Now it's saying error generating document, something bad request. What the hell I did wrong?
I observe you have closed the paragraph twice.
Twice? Ah, good. This is where I have it, right? Yeah, this is where I have it. You should have said earlier. Did you waited for it to get mistaken?
Uh,
No, I just, no, it's the paragraph here and it's getting close here.
yeah, I think it removed it automatically.
So that's not a problem. What could be the problem? The span start, the span end. What else I have done wrong? Any experts? What if I just add it after this? And let me try again. Wow. So some formatting mistakes. So the HTML one is problematic, creating problem. But if you see, this is demo field, that information come here. So this is how the merge field works. You know the 4 objects which are allowed for merge field option for Salesforce CPQ. And if you want to have any other object information also, then you know how to bring it in any of the 4 objects and then bring it into your template by using it in the template content, and which is used in the section of your templates. So this is about merge field. Then if you want to insert field, inserting the field, it's kind of very lengthy process, so I will explain it rather than I will show it. So you need to create a rich text field in your code and a code object, and the rich text field you should make it available for users, and in that field users will upload the image, and then you can use that rich text field in as a merge field in your template. So that is how you can insert an image. Very simple process, but just a lot of steps, so I'm ignoring it. Then I will quickly go to the setup and show you the feature in the package and how it will affect. So this is the installed package, and I have Salesforce CPQ. If I click on configure, you can define, you can have various settings, and because we are working on templates, so this is a section we are actually worried about. So document folder, where exactly you want the generated document to get stored. So default, when I actually started, it was these options were there, and personal document. I also created, again I went back to classic and in the documents and created a folder, and then all option is also available. So if you want to add any other folder, you can create and add it here and put it as a default one where your template will, the generated document will store. So right now it's user personal document and let it be. Then if you want to attach the document to some target, so if you keep it as document only, then it will not attach to any place. But if you want, suppose you want, it makes sense to attach it to code because you are generating it for code. So you can select here code. Then in case if you want to hide document name, and if I click on I say select checkbox to hide document name and generating. Okay, so you know the name gets generated where the code number and everything is there, and you don't want users to change it, then you can hide definitely that name. Full page preview is, if you see, I'm literally working in the iframe because it's very easy for me to actually work like that. But if you want to have a full view, you can check that box. Exclude hidden lines in the group total. So if there is any hidden line, if you need to check, it will hide it. And in case you want to post it to feed, you can check that box. And if you want to enable multi-language transaction, you can check that box. And if you see in my preview, it's showing the document language, and it's already showing it because my checkbox is already checked. So these are some of the features. You can see this one I will talk about at the end when I will talk about mass generation of the document. This is about the configuration part, which is actually impacting in a lot of places. That's why I wanted to show, especially the document folder and the targets, and in case if you want to allow multi-language one. So now let me show you the language, because we're already talking about language. So this is my template, and if suppose I want to translate it to some other language, I can do it by clicking on this translate button. And Dutch, because I live in Netherlands. So just say, I will title, I don't know what titles are set. Country. That means just some for showing you guys something, right? State, street, so I am not translating everything, but let's say I save it, and if I go back to by code, and because language is added now, I have to cancel and preview again. So preview document, and I select here because I did in Dutch. I select Dutch, and if I preview, which field I changed? Can you see? Yeah, if you see, right, the company name changed, the city changed. This is the translated information. Values are not coming because yeah, I don't have any values filled up in here. So if I fill in up here, it will show. So you can see you can easily translate the wordings which is used in your template. That's all about language. It's so damn easy. Okay, one thing I forget to actually tell you in the terms, in case if you change the term, so you can actually do it via quote as well. So let me quickly show you. I should have shown it with the terms when I was explaining, but it's okay, you guys are intelligent. So I'm not in alignment with the code term, so what I will do, I can modify code term from here. Of course, you need to have a permission to modify. And this was the wording which was there, and I say adding some extra. I change the code term and save it and close it. So how it's gonna affect? So it's definitely gonna affect in the code term. And if I go to code terms, in my template, what code terms I have used? I have used a template code term test one. So if I come here, you can see adding some extra. So this is the new one created, and my old one still remains like that, and it will be set as still standard. This is code present. Yeah, this is the original one, so it remains as standard, and the modified version will be added with my extra information. So this is more or less everything about the templates. The very last part, let me see if I'm missing something from my image CPQ package. Output formats I'm missing. Before I show you that, let me show you the output format as well. So output format is CPQ, Salesforce CPQ allows you to generate documents in two formats, PDF and MS Word. So right now, if you have seen, when I do it, I only get PDF generated by default. But if suppose I don't want, let me even click on generate documents. So you see, I don't have any option. It's defaultly generating in PDF. So, but I want reps to give a option to generate it as MS Word as well. So what I have to do, I have to go to setup, and I have to go to users, and then users. And then for whatever user, I want to give option to select whether you want to generate as PDF or MS Word. I have to check this box, allow output format change. This field is not defaultly present in the layout, so you have to add it. Let me now save my profile because I'm generating, and I need to cancel it and click on generate PDF again. Now you can see I have an option of generating as PDF or MS Word. So this is one thing. Yes, now I'm complete, and the last part is the batch document generation. Just showing you what it is. So like, if suppose you don't want to generate one by one, but you want to generate as mass, so that in case if some code is not generated and sent, then you want to automatically send them, then you even have an option of that in CPQ, and it's not very difficult actually. First, you need to authorize from the configuration window, which I have shown you, and I said you I will demo it later. Then there is a class available called mass code document sender. You need to first authorize from the package and then use this class to create a schedule apex. Whatever time you will schedule it, it will generate the document. It's the normal way how the schedule apex works. Then which records will be qualified for creating the mass record? It will be the one where the status is pending, the code status is pending. Primary contact information in the code should be filled up, and the template should be selected in the code. So if all these three informations are present in the code, it will be qualified for the batch in which mass code is generated and sent. In case if you are using multi-language, then you need to add code language field in the code page layout. And in that case, one more thing will be necessary is to select which language you want the code to be sent. If nothing is sent, then system will take the default one as an option. Once the whole Apex will run, what will be the result? The result will be the one admin who is on which name, whose name the Apex is running, schedule job is running. That admin will get an email saying whether the patch has been run successfully or not, and the code status will get updated as send and failed. So whether it's sent to the contacts or it is failed. So this is the thing. I will just show you one or two things out of this. One is this. This is the request authorization which you need to do from here. You have not closed the window, so it's from the configuration. The second is home, and if I go to tax, and if I go to tax classing, and if I click on schedule advance, I can give it any name, and the class which I said is mass code document sender, right? Mass code document sender. You can give it a name, you can define when you want to run it, and start time and end time. So it's very convenient. It's nothing you have to write or code, and that will run. So this is all about today's session. I took a lot more than I intend to be, but I hope everyone have learned something today. I will quickly go through the chats and see if there is any question. And meanwhile, if somebody wants to add or say something, then you're free to speak right now.
I think there is a question from Minaj Bhavna. Minaj, can you go ahead and ask your question?
Yeah, yeah. Can you hear?
Yes, yes, Manoj, we can hear.
Yeah. So my question was around putting the content before and after the group tables. So for example, if you have a software group or hardware group, okay. So if you want to put some content uh,
In
before
between.
the so before the software products starts and after software products end, and then similarly if we start the hardware, then before the hardware table starts and after the hardware table ends, if you want to put some content, is it possible?
I'm actually not sure because you have seen that when we create it for code line items, it's more of a like a container. You see, we don't see uh, any option to configure any changes there, and all code items automatically appear. So at least I'm not aware, but if anybody in the session knows anything about it.
I have an idea, just know whether it will work or not. But is there a way when we make a table, we can define that uh, instead of showing all the product, we want to show some product. For example, let's say in this section we say show only the product which belongs to software first. The way we have worked with the family, right? It has combined all and shown as one single line item, but instead of that, it still show only the product which fall into that category. And if that is possible, then instead of grouping it by product, by using that logic, we can define the page content in a way that we want to put some header there and starting and ending, and in between we can bring that table. But I have not tried it if it's possible. So if you see here, the line columns which we have 6, if we can control it that under this line column which products should display, then we can repeat it twice, having 2 different sections on it using the section filter. Yeah,
I have also not tried, so yeah, but it's a good suggestion. It's definitely can be tried.
so Manaj, we need to try it, buddy. Not sure, but we need to try
Yeah.
it, see if it works. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah. And one more question. For example, if you have quote lines, parent and child together, a product and its features together, okay, and if you have, for example, 2 products, so is it possible that you form the table, the parent one, and under that all of its features, then again in the same table the another parent, and then all its features together, something like that? Is it possible? Basically showing the parent and its child in the table, and then again another parent and its child in the table. Is it
So it's
possible?
more about Bhavna. Let's say we have 4 bundles product. Now bundle is in a group of products, right? So
Yeah.
if we want to put on a code template each product as one table which shows the main bundle and also the product which are participating to this bundle.
It's kind
Okay.
of grouping the same. It's kind of grouping the parent and child together instead of just a flat table for with all the parent and child. Yeah.
Yeah, I think Minaj, you answered it yourself. So if we can bundle all those product in a group and then print it, then I think it will work that way.
Yeah. I've seen
Uh,
somewhere bundle, but I don't remember right now where I've seen. But yeah, I have seen the bundle option.
So basically what I meant to say, if you have a hardware, so I want to display all the hardware in one table, and in hardware itself you can have a parent and its features together. Okay, so I don't want to split every hardware into a separate group. Okay, but under the hardware group, I want to display the parent and its child together for all of the hardware, and then maybe in the second group software we can take. So that way, not for every bundle create a group.
Yeah, very specific
Also,
use case, Minaj.
yeah.
I think it's related to our project. I think we need to hit and try and see.
Okay.
Yeah.
One simple question: in template, is there any way to put any conditions, like if this field has this value, that show this content, else don't show that content in the template itself? Is it possible to
It's
put any
It's not inside the
template?
content, but you can of course control it through sections. So instead of putting everything in a section, if you think that some of the parts of that section you want to show in some condition and some in some other condition, then create that as two different sections, and then play with section show and hide.
Yeah, but within the paragraph, for example, if you want to specify basically, for
No,
example, yeah, some specific content based upon some specific product or
uh,
something within the paragraph.
what I think, Minaj is, and
Hmm.
Bhavna can correct me, but based on my experience, what I've read when I was working on a Conga document, what I have understood is that merge field, when we use merge field, right, which Bhavna was showing in a content, if you write some if else condition which word support, and if we put in a condition over there along with merge field, it will work. So that is also a good case to use and try. I personally feel it should work because that is how any word merge document works. Somewhere here, if we put in a if condition along with the merge fields, I think it should work, but again, I have not tried it, so we need to see it.
but you have to keep in mind it supports HTML. So
Yeah, because at a back end, right, everything is merge field. So I was reading it long back, I have not tried it when I was reading Conga, and what they said is it's not a Conga feature, it is a merge. That is how merge document works on a word, and as long as those formula, there are basic formulas which works on it. So if we put it, it work. I think, Minaj, we can try it.
Yeah, you can check it. Yeah.
and spread the knowledge in the WhatsApp group.
Yeah, Manmohan is there too.
Okay, guys, any other question? Okay, so before I stop the recording, I would like to thank you, Bhavna, for all the hard work. Uh, I tried personally myself looking at the content available online. We have not seen much information available, so therefore a lot of hard work and a lot of effort has gone preparing such a detailed content. So thank you very much, Bhavna. I personally liked this session. I hope everyone liked it, and if you guys uh, feel that the session was good and you have learned something today, please feel free to go to social media, Twitter, LinkedIn, share your feedback. Your feedback is the only motivation factor which forces us to work hard and hard and give you a quality content. And this is the last session for our CPQ series, so I would also like to thank all our speakers for their hard work. These videos will be available online very soon, maybe somewhere in this week. Go ahead, write your exam, share your experience, and we will be starting the next certification series on uh, community cloud somewhere mid in the March. So till then, God bless you, goodbye, and thank you very much for your love and support.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, guys.
Thank
Bye.
you.
Thank you.